This is the Hotty Toddy chat brought to you by HottyToddy.com. My name is Jack Couch.
Sports Adam Brown.
Intern Ryan Hunt.
Today we're going to look back at the Ole Miss baseball series over A&M out in College Station.
Yeah, another rough weekend for the Rebels. And, we ended up winning our first game, finally. We had some great pitching on Saturday. Rivas really hit it out. And we had some good bats, which was really all we can ask for at this point. And moving forward, we just got to keep hammering it down and figuring out our own style and getting our pitching going. And I feel like we're warming up, but slowly but surely for sure.
It's one of those situations where, yes, we did fine on Saturday, hitting the bats, getting hot and stuff, but Sunday we had opportunities to actually pull out the game, but the time we hit didn't fall.
Yeah, exactly. That's just one of those things of baseball being baseball, and we're leaving people on bases too much, and we're making some small mistakes, and this is what happens. You just can't pull it through. Baseball's a rough spot right now. We're going to figure it out eventually, but we'll wait and see. What do you think?
But I think you saw a lot of improvement on Saturday. I think if there's something you're going to look forward to for the rest of this season, the way we played on Saturday, the way we hit the ball, our bullpen, after giving up 5 runs, after Rivas giving up 5 runs between 4 and 2/3, the bullpen really came in and stepped up. The bullpen really, that was a struggling spot that we've had throughout the year with a lot of young guys, a lot of young freshmen pitching, but they really stepped up. And I think, our hitting really improved on Saturday. I think there was a lot to look at there. We had 14 runs on 10 hits. TJ McCants played amazing. He had 2 hits. He went 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs and no strikeouts, and he was also walked twice. So I think there was a lot of improvement there on the way he played. We've usually been this season, if we're going to score, it's the long ball that is putting some points on the board for us. But we only had 1 home run on Saturday, and the rest of the time we were just putting the balls into play and just moving around the bases. So I think you saw a lot of improvement on Saturday. Obviously coming back Sunday and losing a tough one, but to go away to College Station, that's a loud environment and a loud atmosphere, and to steal a game is something we needed. But I think more importantly, for the younger guys, for the freshmen on the team, to get that win under their belt, to realize that this isn't some D2 school we're playing on a Tuesday night, but this is SEC play compared to when they were just a year ago playing in their respective high schools, playing against guys who are just students now, and now coming in and playing in the SEC and getting that first win under their belt. I think that will send volumes throughout the team, and obviously you saw a lot of the older guys step up into a leadership position. You had Kemp, who had a great game on Saturday, and then our starting pitching wasn't the best, giving up 5 runs, but an area that we have needed to work on in our bullpen really stepped up and really kept that lead for us, and that's been a hard thing that we've had to endure this season so far, is not letting a close game turn into a blowout.
Yeah, that's again one of those close games turning into a blowout. We really tried to do it Saturday in the 9th inning, just to be negative for 10 minutes. It's just that we continue to be like, hey, let's throw some meat right over to their best pitcher. Let's give them a hit, see if we can make something happen. And that's just part of it right now, and we're figuring it out. And that's that's part of baseball. You got to figure it out as you go. But it's just, I feel like everything's just not coming together right now for the team. And I don't know I know it's partly pitching, partly hitting. I don't know if it's the players or coaching or what the missing link is. Because we make good plays and we're able to make something happen most of the time. It's just something's not clicking, and I don't know what it is at this point. And showing this weekend, you could see, oh yeah, our pitching was great on Saturday, and we get hit. And that's the team we should be all year long. I don't understand why we're not able to move people around and figure that out. It's just one of those weird things that's happening. We got a sort of funk that we're in right now.
Well, kind of going off what y'all both said, every game that we've lost in conference, out of conference, you can't put your finger on just one thing because everything's different per game. So it's not like you can fit something that will fix that, and then we can move on from there. We just have to go game by game and hope that we can outscore.
Yeah.
And I think going on, getting, not just scoring early, but not letting them score early.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is getting off to a good start. Cause I think that's the problem you've been seeing. You saw it, a couple weeks ago with Florida. Yeah, we scored a bunch of runs, but we were losing 6-0 in the third inning. We came back, but we ended up losing the game. They were just that good. But I think get off to a good start early, making sure that our starting pitching isn't giving up, hit after hit, making sure we're not having 8-9 pitch at bats with them, and making sure that their longevity is going. So I think you saw that. Sunday we got off to a fine start. We gave up. We were up 3-0, and then we let them come back with that shot in the fourth. But we competed the entire way. I think that's something you always see with Mike Bianco's teams is, yeah, we might not be the best, but we're always competing. We're always. You never really see, compared to other teams around the SEC and around the country, when they get down, the wheels just fall off. But I think with Mike Bianco, that's something we're going to be very happy about. Is he's put this in our team's mind and the younger guys and the captains that we're not going to give up. It's baseball. You can get hot at any moment and you can come back from any deficit. It's one of those sports. But I think you saw that on Saturday. That look, we're down. We're not off to the greatest start ever, but we can still win games. We can still compete with the best of the best. We can still do it in any area of the field.
Yeah, and that's the last thing I really wanted to touch on was, we have a shot. We always have a shot. You're telling me there's a chance. And if we start picking up and figuring this out, we have to win 2/3 of the games that we have left. We have 30 games left, and we have to win 20 of them. And that's very doable looking ahead at our schedule. And again, that you have so many people ahead that I feel that are worse teams than teams that we've been playing, especially A&M. I feel like it's in the better half of the SEC. So you look at State's a rivalry game, which hurts, and then you look at Georgia, and then you have Arkansas, and then you have Missouri, and those teams I feel like are very beatable teams. So that's what I'm looking forward to going forward, is that we got a shot, and now we can figure out, and we just have to step up, and that's something that we haven't been doing, is we haven't been stepping up all the way.
Well, when you were talking about Arkansas, we stepped on the diamond tonight against Arkansas, a team that we faced in College World Series last year.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a little bit of a grudge there.
Yeah.
But them taking our only game last year, they're coming back with a fury. But the good thing is it's at home. They're going to have the fans on their side. They're going to be able to play in an atmosphere that they know and they understand. It's not going to be this negative thing around them. But I feel like they really need to perform while they have the chance to right now and make a statement to the whole SEC, being like, hey, I know that we haven't been playing good. Now we're going to start playing good. And this is where we are, and this is how we're going to go forward, and this is this. And I've been saying, and that's what I've been preaching, is that we need to make a statement, and I feel like this needs to be our statement. I feel like if we get swept this weekend versus Arkansas, we're going to have a rough rest of the season.
Not even if we get swept, if we can't just take the series.
Yeah, take the series, yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a situation where we're 2-10 going into the start one this weekend.
Yeah, and that's, it's a rough situation that we're in, and that's just part of baseball, and we gotta get out of this funk. And I felt better about the hitting, and we have pitching coming back. We're looking at Elliott coming back in a 2 to 3 week time period. He is going to be limited on pitches, but even having him start out, feel like, hey, you can throw 50 pitches, you can throw 65 pitches, you can throw this amount of heat, you can do this amount of work on the ball. I think even that's going to be a huge morale boost to our team to start out very well. Because one of our problems, again, are in Friday night or Sunday night, and not really in Saturday night. I feel like Saturday night we always perform for no reason. But Friday or Sunday night, usually we've been down and then trying to fight back, and that's due to our pitching just not being where it is right now. And that's what you get with freshmen and people that aren't really acclimated to what we're doing right now and having a hard time acclimating themselves and getting to like a sweet spot. And I think that him coming in for 1 to 2 innings is just going to shake that up immensely.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's why we need to win this weekend. Make a point being like, our bats are hot, we're getting Hunter Elliott back, and we're figuring out our pitching. That's all I can ask for is to win 2 games this weekend. That's all we need. So
Because after last year, we did what we did, but you could argue that maybe we shouldn't belong there. And I bet in Arkansas's mind, they might have thought that they came in thinking they were going to win. They were thinking they were going to put out our fire, and so there's a lot of sore faces around that Arkansas dugout right now about remembering what happened in Omaha last year. So you better believe that they're going to come ready to play. You better believe that they're going to come with a little bit of vengeance and wanting to put us out in front of our home crowd. So I mean, you're going to have to see a lot of guys, younger guys that haven't been asked a whole lot upon them to come in here and compete with a good Arkansas team, and to come in and take more of a role on the team, even if it's not something they want to do or something they've been asked to do. But they need to take upon themselves and fill the shoes of the guys who aren't here anymore, the Elkos and Hayden Dunhursts of the world.
I mean, y'all both right. I mean, it's one of those situations to where Arkansas has been the rivalry on the diamond between Ole Miss and Arkansas is real.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen that for the past 10, 15 years. But just the dominating 2 programs in the West will clash starting tonight.
oh yeah, completely agree. And that's just we got to just slow it up and figure this out.
Looking ahead to what we have coming up, happy Easter to everyone this weekend. And next week we'll look at baseball going to Starkville, and then look ahead to the Grove Bowl as football wraps up.
And looking at spring and how we're looking, and the best quarterback battle in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
That's something great that we have, and I didn't think that we'd have for a long time, and it's awesome that we got it. And so, very excited for what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, we'll talk to y'all later. Welcome back into HottyToddy.com chat. We're here with the Lester Snug with our news report for the week.
Hey, been a couple of weeks, so we had a lot going on. Of course, the tornadoes were the main headlines for the last 2 weeks. They out on what was it, March 31st, and then the week before that, our area was luckily pretty well skipped over. We had some trees down, some roads covered in water, but really,
Well, we did have that tornado out on 317.
yeah, but that was a real minor one, and nobody was hurt. So compared to areas like Rolling Fork and Emory, of course, and then just Friday, Little Rock and all that.
And Tupelo, yeah.
Tupelo. So the thing for us though was how our community came together, and the fire department, the city of Oxford, Lafayette County, the schools, Ole Miss, sorority. I mean, everybody and anybody was gathering supplies up to bring down there. Churches, of course, and
you still can donate to the athletic department to different places this week to go down there for sure.
yeah, I would just check with. I don't know if the city is still collecting, but I mean they were even collecting garbage cans, which I thought was kind of neat because you don't think about that, but yeah, I mean. Garbage cans. Of course, they would need garbage cans, and since the city has transferred over to that automatic, everybody had all these garbage cans they weren't using. So, The mayor said they brought about 100 garbage cans
Oh, wow.
over to
Amory?
Amory. Down on Mississippi, right? Before that happened, we unfortunately there was a. They haven't actually called it a murder yet, but Curtis Maurice Vaughn went missing on March 21st, and sadly his body was found in Water Valley the next day, kind of off the side of the road there on County Road 214 in Yalobusha. They said that it was suspicious and it's a criminal investigation, but they have not used the words homicide or murder yet, and no one has been arrested. He was a local guy, went by Maurice, and of course our thoughts are with his family.
Mm-hmm.
I know they had his funeral this weekend, but for a little bit there, people on social media were reminiscent of Jimmy J. Lee, who went missing back in June, and however, they have not found his body. But the last I think that I was here on the show, we were waiting to see if there would be a special grand jury called, and there was. And Sheldon Timmy Harrington was indicted by the grand jury in Jimmy J. Lee's murder. So just to clarify, a lot of people don't necessarily understand that a grand jury indictment does not mean he's been found guilty. It's just that it means prosecutors were able to present enough evidence to the grand jury to show that there could be a case of murder, that they could have enough possible evidence to present at a trial. The standards to get a indictment are way lower than they are for a conviction.
But even when they get an indictment, is that where he'll get bond? He'll get bond, or is he kind of in jail till it's...
No, he's been on bond. He got bond back in December, $200,000, and the judge during the grand jury went ahead after he was indicted and served the indictment and read his charges formally. The judge carried over the bond, so he'll remain out on that bond. But he also has some other. He's got to wear an ankle bracelet, which is really odd for a bond. But they wanted to appease the judge so he could get out while he awaits trial. And then we have. Going to be a little rainy this weekend coming up at our Easter weekend. Tonight and tomorrow is supposed to be pretty rainy. Things will clear up Saturday. There's only about a 30% chance of showers on Saturday. And Sunday, Easter Sunday, is supposed to be mostly sunny with a high near 70, which is wonderful Easter weather. And before that, if you have little ones who want some eggs and some candy, there's going to be an egg hunt after the game.
On Saturday.
A baseball game, at Swayze Field. The game starts at 2.
Right, so it'd be about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
And but before that, Saturday morning at the Stone Center, several sororities are putting up an egg hunt, and that registration for that is at 8:45, and the hunt will start at 9:30, and that one is for kids 12 and under.
That's good.
Also, I'm sure there's churches that are probably putting on some of their, own egg hunts for their congregations. But lots of chances to get some candy, I'm sure. And before we head out, we did have one more bit of good news, I guess. Mayor Tannehill announced during the Alderman meeting that the state legislature they granted Oxford $5 million to go towards the construction of a new Oxford Police Department, and $15 million to go to start the widening of Highway 7.
Oh, okay, yeah.
According to the chief operating officer, the estimated cost for that project, which would widen Highway 7 from where it hits
From the old
6,
Popeye, yeah.
from the old Popeye location, yeah, down to Water Valley, is about 150 million. However, the 15 million would go towards design and environmental studies and relocation of some utilities to get the project ready to bid, so that next year, he said the best thing about it is that it shows that they are on board with this project finally, and so that if it is ready by next year when they meet, that maybe they'll go ahead and start, funding the actual project. Then,
But you're still
2 or 3
looking-
years out, we might see some work starting to widen that road.
So what you're still looking about 6-7 years down the road before it's
It all
completed.
depends, but they've gotten all the land, so they've
Yeah.
already because several years ago when they talked about widening 7, and then they dropped the project because they said they didn't have the money. They had spent quite a bit of money already in acquisition of property on right of ways to do that. So I think that's already been done, at least a good chunk of it. So anyway, that's about it for this week. Hope everybody has a wonderful Easter.
Yes, have a good Easter, have a wonderful Easter, and catch us back next week. Remember that starting tonight will be Ole Miss baseball. Softball will crank up on tomorrow night. But have a wonderful weekend, and talk to y'all soon.